All right, we're going to go ahead and ban Jon Snow. There we go. Ready to be arrested. See what I'm talking about, this space? And you just kind of laugh and brush it off. But imagine that every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, coming at you again and again and again and again and again. What point do you punch back? Charles, are you a 33rd degree Mason? No, I have no affiliation with the Freemasons or any other secret society. Baptized Catholic. Can't be a Mason if you're Catholic. Well, I guess you can't, but historically, those two orders haven't gotten along since they burned Jacques Lemay, 1314. Elon Musk view on resignation. All right. This is the classic example of don't put your dick in crazy. So here's what Musk did. He's sitting there probably hanging out with Jack Dorsey and all these other guys. He's riding real high. Okay. He's worth $250 billion. He's the big guy. And they're, doing their stuff. And he's like, man, it'd be cool to own Twitter, completely free it. And Jack's probably venting and being like, oh man, fucking woke people own Twitter and shareholder this, shareholder that. And Musk is like, well, if it's a private company, we could do anything. And like, yeah, that'd be cool, man. Okay. So they're talking. Okay. They're talking. It makes sense to them. So somewhere along the way, he's like, fuck it. I'm so rich. I'll do it. I'm going to buy Twitter. I'm going to do it. So he puts $44 billion on the table. Okay. And then the markets start going down. Everything starts falling apart. He realizes he's not infinitely wealthy. And he starts looking into this Goliath of a company. And he realizes, holy shit, this is no joke. So tries to get out of it. Okay. So this is you've had a one night stand, you start getting a lot of text messages and you realize that maybe that wasn't the best idea. And that particular person's perhaps not the healthiest person to have in your life, but you've already committed. They're pregnant. Oh no. Okay. So he spends this court case trying to get out of it. Now here's the fucked up thing. The company suing him, Twitter, knew that if he acquired it, he'd probably destroy the company. That was their belief. Whether you believe that, he believes that, but that's what they believed. So you have a board and a CEO pursuing an acquisition that they know will be their end, but yet they have a fiduciary obligation to pursue it. So he loses and he's forced to buy it. He acquires it, comes in with a sink, and he's like, all right, this is going to be great. We're going to make this work. And he's just doing stuff. He's like, we're charged for check marks and all these other things. Now, we and others tried ridiculously hard to reach out to Elon. We sent him videos, public, private, every channel possible to say, hey, we've been thinking about social networks now for about 10 years. And we have a lot of stuff here, just basic stuff. Like if you want to solve the bots and identity, we got like 40 papers of this shit. We really can help you. Completely tone deaf. Didn't listen to anything. Comes out there and then you got this impersonation problem. All these, it was just a mess. And he was making rookie mistakes that you expect to make day one with these types of things. And he got the entire company and fired tons of people, some good people, a lot of bad people. And now the company's in a much more lean state. And now he's trying to find a CEO because his shareholders at Tesla, very rightfully so, said, we made you the world's richest man. Maybe, just maybe, you should actually be the CEO of our company instead of spending your entire day on Twitter. Maybe, just maybe. I don't, we gave you all this. Why don't we have you commit to that? So now he's trying to get out of it. And here's what he should have done. If he was really smart about the process, you start a company for a next generation social media startup. You start with a rock star CEO. You build an elite team of people around it. You bring them together. I would have actually invited Lex Friedman, but there are many people. And you focus a lot on identity, information curation, information incentives for good information, different advertising models. You build the perfect next generation social network with a protocol at its core and a beautiful user interface on the top. And it's like a chia pet, just add water, just add users. and you get a really strong HR capacity, and you get a really strong finance capacity. Then you bring in an operating officer or president who has a ton of experience with mergers and acquisitions. Then you call up Twitter and say, I want to buy you guys. And you do the acquisition. You have this other company here, and you have Twitter. You leave them kind of separate, but then you start slowly but surely bringing them together. And that M&A guy, what he's going to do is sit down and gradually prepare Twitter to be absorbed into this other company from the perspective of moving the users over and abandoning that infrastructure. And then over a process of about a year, slowly you move it over. Now you keep the old CEO and the CFO and all those people in power for that year. You're not rocking the boat too much. And they have golden parachutes. They can't quit anyway. So they're going to keep doing the things. They don't want to do anything to screw up their golden parachutes. And you don't move quickly. So you can stay on a Tesla. You got this guy that reports to you every quarter. And then over time, you fill it up. And then lo and behold, boom, you flip the switch. And everybody now wakes up in a completely new experience, new monetary model, new advertising model. All of this stuff is just there. And it's like, wow, this is incredible. And you probably laid off 70% of the crew as you move them over because you now have a much leaner, better stack that's modern, and it was built from the ground up for this. It takes about a year to 2 years to get that core where it needs to be before you do the acquisition. So if he was intending to do this, he should have started about 2019, and he'd be ready to do it 2021, this type of thing. Now he's got to do it. And he's got to do it while making huge payments. And he's got to do it while running all these other companies. And he's got to do it with every journalist in the United States pissing all over him. Just one big golden shower. And it's the stupidest thing in the world. The verification thing, it's a solved fucking problem. Give people DIDs and allow them to go through traditional KYC. And then you lock the account name and title to that DID. You allow an aliasing system, but they can't change the name. It's that simple. We solved that problem. It's a solved problem. It's not hard. And there's plenty of service providers who could have done this. And by the way, you can have verified tweets then. So they sign every tweet when they tweet it. And you have two-factor authentication with your accounts because you can use your PGP keys to sign things. There you go. Okay. Easy peasy. Lemon breezy. Ready to go. You create a tiered system of check marks too. You don't go to a person with 10 million, 20 million, 30 million users who's a huge network influencer and say, you got to pay $8 a month. No, you don't do that. You don't kill your super users and because they're the ones who drive traffic to your site. There's a reason why people are there. Take care of those people. And so you have a tiered system for it. You got to provide more value than just verification for that $8 a month. So you give them access to a lot of other stuff as well. But you see, you explore those money models with the new company, and you spend a year or two getting those kinks out. Once you have it, then you roll it over. So it's just been all one big clusterfuck, and it's sad too, because when you peel back all the layers, there really is a problem. It's a problem that 98% of the people that work for these companies are Democrats, and there's no representation of the other voices. And for them to label every other voice as hate speech than their own, that's a problem for society. There needs to be balanced moderation of these platforms. There needs to be a different way of curating information. Algorithmic governance of these things have resulted because the protocols are used to maximize clicks to division and siloing and partisanship. That's the incentive right now. It's nuts. And this problem, again, we've thought about for a real long time, and he didn't seek anybody's advice. I didn't even talk to Brendan Nick, over at Brave and the BAT model, which is a really revolutionary way of handling advertising. He just went in full dick and had no idea what he was doing. Now we're living it.